Okay, so since I'm recording, I would like to repeat. So the main reason for today's class is I would like to see each and every student capability statement. So that capability statement is basically I would like to have an idea about all of you what would a SAP capability for you. When I say SAP capability, that's not really pertaining to one module. This is not a module oriented capability I'm talking here. I'm talking here what is your overall capability to lead a project or to be a part of the project team in order to support the success of that project. So what type of capacity you have? That's the first question. In that first question, I also gave you some clues saying that final preparation, go live, post go live support, these are the three major areas, three major milestones or implementation process steps in which you have the capacity to perform A as a team member, B as a team lead also. Okay, so what are those activities? So you have already given me an answer in the final prep, go live and post go live. Okay, so with that I would like to go and explain you a little bit more on SAP landscape. Okay, SAP landscape is all about how you are going to design your infrastructure. SAP infrastructure means SAP application servers. Okay, SAP application servers, and within each SAP application server, what will be your SAP server host? It will be your SAP instance, and what will be your SAP client naming convention. Okay, all that. So that means SAP landscape is going to have a collection of instance. Okay, and within that instance you may have one host or many hosts. Okay, and within that host you may have one server or many servers, and within that server you may have one client or many clients. Client/client naming conventions. Okay, so if you take our landscape, the existing SAP system landscape, okay, from here I'm going to give you mouse control, and I'm going to request one of you to show me where I can see, where do I see the SAP host name and SAP application server and SAP client and everything. Okay, so I gave you the mouse control. Please go ahead and show me on this screen where I'm going to get that information. What information I am asking? Number one, host. Number two, application server or servers. Number three, the existing client. Okay, who is trying actually out of all three? Who is trying? Who is having the mouse control now? Is it? Let me see. How many are there? First of all, okay, Lakshmi, Rahul, Anup. Okay, so out of Lakshmi, Anup, Rahul, who tried? All of you? Okay. So all of you tried, but you forgot. Okay, no problem. So I will show you that in a minute. Okay. So if any screen in SAP is going to have systems. Okay. Click on the system and status. Over here, you can see the host name. Host name is this is the host name for my the existing one. That's the host name, and we have application servers. Let us see the application servers. Okay, this is one. That's an application server. Client is all client we have here. The client is 500, yes. Okay, so here you can see the client 500 and the backend Oracle, and the operating system is Linux, and the machine. Okay, over here this one the host is this is host, right? And E62 is application server, and 09 is system number. Okay, so one host may have one ID or many IDs. Okay, so that means if you keep this constant, the host as a constant, one host will have many app servers, application servers. In this case, E62 is one application server, and it has got a number. That number is 09. That means you can have same host, same application server, different ID. Okay, and after that followed by the client number. Okay, this is called SAP landscape. How we are segregating or how we are designing your application server, host, and the system number. So how can I say that E62 is my application server? You can go to your logon pad, and here if you go to change properties, you can see that your application server is E62. The instance number is 09 and system ID is 62, correct? So all of this together is called SAP landscape. Remember that. Okay, and is it possible that the landscape is going to be constant wherever I go? No. The landscape is going to be changing from client to, from customer to customer. Let's say HPCL may have different arrangement of servers, instances, host, and other stuff. And if you go to Indian Oil Corporation, they may have different. And if you go to HLL, Hindustan Lever, they may have different. Reliance, they may have different. Okay, so it's not hard and fast rule that landscape is going to be same in every client. Okay, so the very first thing what you need to know is you have to ask, should not guess. You should not guess. You should ask, what is your landscape? Right now I'm going to Washington DC and Maryland, actually the Baltimore, New York, and New Jersey areas because we have different instances, and we have different landscapes, and each of this, even though everything is same company, but the landscape is different. So whenever I go to a different location, why do I need to go to different location? Because that different location has got a different business. So for example, in New Jersey, they have only tea. There's no coffee business there. Whereas in Landover, it's completely coffee. And if I go to Washington, D.C., they don't make anything. All they're doing is they're taking it from local farmers and they're branding it and packing it and sending. And if I go to the New York area, over there they're giving everything to subcontractors. So as a result, each location, even though it is same company, they have a different landscape. So when I first go there, I'm asking them, what is the landscape here? Because if I do some changes, the configuration changes, or design changes, or business changes, I have to make sure that those changes will be replicated in all the servers. Otherwise, there will not be synchronization. Okay? So having said that, let us go and talk about this landscape. Okay? So the first one is called development. Okay? Within development, I have clean configuration, client. Clean configuration client is also known as a golden client. Okay? So over here, we do not put any master data, just only configuration. That means no transactional data, no sales orders, no payroll, no purchase orders, no production orders, no maintenance orders, no internal orders, nothing. And no master data, no employee number, no material number, no BOM, no equipment, nothing. Remember that. Okay? That is development. Once development is over, then what we do is we are going to move it from development to QA, quality assurance. Okay? Within quality assurance, you have integration testing, integration test client. Okay? Once the testing is over, then we are going to ask user acceptance testing. So user is going to test it and he's going to sign off. Okay, then we'll move it to production. PRD or production. Okay, QA or quality assurance. Okay, very good. And here in the development client, we also have one more client for ABAP development. ABAP development client. But remember one thing, this is not mandatory ABAP development client. Okay, it is good to have one client where you are going to do exclusively ABAP development. Okay, so and we also have a something called sandbox play client. Okay, you can play, you do whatever you want to do. Okay, so that is called sandbox. Again, it is not mandatory. So what is really mandatory is only this clean configuration client. Okay, so this is the only one which is mandatory. ABAP development client, sandbox client, optional. Similarly, in the quality assurance also, you do not have to have user acceptance test client separately. In the same integration test client, you can ask your users to log on to the system, try to test all by yourself and let me know, are you satisfied? Are you going to accept it? Are you going to sign off this particular scenario? Okay, so this is called landscape. Okay, then we can give those numbers. For example, in this case you might say dev 100. Here you might say dev 200. Here you might say dev means development 300. Okay, and the quality assurance you may say QA 100. Here you might say QA 200. Here you might say PRD 100. Okay, so once you have understood this, I'm going to go and show you the same thing on my system. Okay, what do I mean by development, quality and production? Okay, so let's go up to this screen right here. Okay, this is a real-time screen. You see this? PRD production, TST test, dev development, POC proof of concept, again PRD. Why we have two PRDs? We have two PRDs because this is a different business line, and this is a different business line. Okay, EMEA or EMEA is European. Okay, APAC is Asia Pacific. So we do have separate separate landscape for Asia Pacific, for EMEA or EMEA, European. Okay, so from here you can see this is basically BW, and every other things is ECC. Okay, so all of this is nothing but, yeah, go ahead, please type. What is your doubt? Please go ahead and type in the chat, or you can ask. I don't know whether your mic is working or not. Let me see if your mic is working. Okay, you are unmuted, and see
Hello,
if.
hello sir, good morning. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I could hear you.
So my query here is like I can see two EMEA PRD clients. One is DIA, one is EMEA PRD DIA, and one is EMEA PRD.
Correct.
So we understand like it's two different clients, two different.
No, two different. Yeah, it is correct. Two different clients. And another question is why we have actually three here. You see, one production,
Yeah.
two production, three production, right? So we have three different production clients in the same EMEA, right? So why in the same EMEA we have three different productions? So the way they have done here at this client is they do have, like I said, tea business, coffee business. So the tea business is having a separate production client for the entire European region, and similarly for the coffee business they have entire European separate production client. Okay, and they have one more which is a combination of both, because in some cases they do have some tea business and also coffee business. Okay, so they thought they should not club all this data into one thing or one production unit, so they separated that way. And similarly they thought they should not keep Asia Pacific data with EMEA, so they separated that. And similarly they separated the BW system with SAP. Okay, they also separated solution manager. Salman is solution manager. Okay, so again, if you ask me, let us say I'm going to go to another client called BP, British Petroleum, in Naperville, where I'm living. Is it going to be in BP? No, BP may have a different design, different landscape. So that's why I always ask, what is your landscape here? I will not presume and I will not assume that since I worked in 8 o'clock coffee company, so that will be similar to BP, British Petroleum. No. So always I make sure that I ask those people. But in order to ask, I need to ask right questions, right? Otherwise, I mean, my ignorance will be will be shown up, right? I don't want to just to make it simple. I want to ask right questions, okay? And at the same time, I don't want to guess, or I don't want to presume that the landscape is going to be this way or that way, okay? So that's the main topic today. What did I do? Okay. So now what I would like to show you is keeping this information, how I'm going to pass this information. Do I need to do the same configuration in all these clients? It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And do I need to do several times? That is the question. No. So for example, you see here you have several, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are several. Do I need to do my configuration in each and every client? What is showing here, 7, 8, 9, 10, blah blah blah? That's the question. No, we do not have to. Then what is the process? How do we do that? That is called CTS process. Okay, CTS process is called change. Some people call it change or correction. Change or correction. Then transportation. Once you make a correction or a change in the configuration, how that is going to be transported to other clients, that is called CTS, correction and transportation system. Correction and transportation system. Okay, so what we do is in the clean configuration or golden client, I do the configuration. Okay, so that means let me insert some of these shapes. Okay, so this one is the development client. Okay, so let me give okay, so first I'm going to make in the clean configuration client, all the configuration changes or corrections. Then to move this to a QA client, B, within the development also I have multiple, right? 200, 300, right? So from 100 to 200, 300, as well as QA 100. So that would be called CTS process. So usually what we do is we use a transaction called SCC1 to move changes or corrections change or correction from the development client or the clean configuration client, because we do have many more within the develop environment. So it makes sense for me to use clean config to move change corrections from clean config to other clients use SCC1 transaction. Okay, so use SE80 SE10 to release okay. So first of all, you have to release it. Once you release it, you can use SCC1 transaction to move from the clean configuration client to other clients. Okay, so when you release your change or the transport or the task list, okay, first you have to release the child, then release the parent. What does it mean by that? It means every transport or every change request what you do has got two parts, meaning two numbers. For example, 55, 56. So the 55 is parent, 56 is child. So first release the child, then release your parent. Okay, so that is the process. What is that process called? CTS. What is CTS? Correction or change and transporting system. Okay, what is that you are transporting? You are transporting the change what you made. Okay, So with this, I'm going to show you the system, real system. Okay, just give me a second. Since it is a client system, it is protected. So first I need to get connected with the secure virtual private network. Now I'm connected. Then now what I'm going to do is go to this, sorry, I'll go to my logon pad, and I need to go to clean configuration, right? So this is the clean configuration. I mean, this is development. Within the development only we'll have clean configuration, right? You see that this is the development. Within the development you have clean, you have ugly, you have everything, right? Okay, we'll show that, we'll see that. Okay, here, not here, here. Okay, so on this system, this is development, correct? And log on. Okay, so 200 is a configuration, clean client, 300 is demo, right? So that means what? If you go to this document, this is clean, this is demo, correct? Demo is also called sandbox. Okay, so let me go here. I'll go to the real one. Which one? The 200. So that means I have to change this to 200, correct? Clean configuration. Okay, so here if you go and take a look at SC16, not SC16, I said SC10, right? SC10. Okay, so in SC10 we'll just take a look at the transports or the changes that are done. Okay, so show me for this particular user how many are there, both modifiable, released, transportable, customization request, everything. Okay, so these are all the transports. You see that they're all released, obviously. They're all customization, released. Okay, so how do you know that these are released? You see the tick mark here? The tick mark means they're all released. Okay, then I said you have two numbers, correct? One is parent, the other one is child. Okay, you take development 2K915165, right? So this will have 2, 65, 66. Okay. So 66 is child, 65 is parent. So you have to first release the child, which is this, highlight and release. Okay, once you highlight and release, you get this tick mark. Okay, Then after that, go to the parent, which is 65, and go and release it. Okay, so that is called CTS. Okay, then what would be the next one? I made all the changes. Then I need to move from 200. This is 200, right? How do I move from 200 to 300? So for that, I said you need to use the transaction called SCC1. Okay, so let's see how we can use that. To do that, if I want to move from 200 to 300, then first I have to go to 300 and stay in 300 and call 200 number from there. Okay, that is what we need to do. So let's log off from here. Okay, development, log on. This time it should be 300, 200. Okay, because I want to call the change what I did in 200 into 300. Okay, so hopefully I have the access to this one, SCC1 transaction. Yes, I do. And what would be, which one is, I'm in 300, right? I'm right now in client 300. You see that 300, you see that? I'm in 300. I need to move from 200 to 300. What is my source? The source is 200. That's where I did the configuration, right? And from there, for this particular transport or for this particular change request or this particular change what I did in the system, I want to move from 200 to 300. Okay, so if you say include request subtask and everything, copy, that will do that. Start immediately, it will start in foreground. Okay, so that's how you move it to from one place to another place. So that means you are not going to do configuration in 200, then 300, then 400. No, you are not going to do that. Only in one place. Which one? Golden client or clean configuration client. Then from there, you are going to move that information from that system to the system in which you want to move it. So that's the reason why I logged into the destination client, which is 300. Then I put my source client 200. Okay, so if I want to move to quality, So what I'm going to do, I'm going to log off, and I'm going to log on to the test client, right? I need to move it to test client from 200. Okay, so that's called CTS process. So you might ask me that, can we do this automatically? Can I do it as a batch job? Schedule it every night at 9 o'clock? Yes, you can do that. So you can also automate process saying that every day in the evening or in the night at 9 o'clock, move all the changes what I did in 200, which is clean configuration client, to all other clients such as quality, test, sandbox, ABAP, training client, testing client, everywhere. So you can do that too. Okay, so this is called CTS process. The CTS process and SAP landscape. Okay, any questions on this? This is very important.
So what you said is like through the CTS process can make the change to any clients at one shot, right? Using the batch.
Yeah, you can automate it. Correct. You are right. But I show you manually how to do it from one client to another client. So let us say you have 250 clients. Do I need to do SCC1 250 times? No. You can automate it by a simple batch job. So you can also schedule that batch job at a given time. Let's say every day night 9 o'clock you want to move all your changes from your client, the clean configuration client, to other 200 different clients within your global environment. You can do that.
And the change is going to be just the configuration related changes, right?
Yeah, that is what we are discussing today, right? Today we are only discussing about SAP CTS and SAP landscape. Landscape is how you design all these things, what you see here in the logon pad, this logon pad. Okay, in this pad, how you design all your clients, that is called SAP landscape. Then once you have designed everything, then how you are going to move your transport request from one environment to another environment, or from one client within the same environment to other client within the same environment, or one client in the one environment, which is development, to another client in the another environment, which is quality. Okay, that's what we did today.
Environment means different landscape, right?
Now, one landscape, this is one landscape. You see this? One landscape. This is one logon pad. One logon pad has got one development environment, test environment, proof of concept environment, production environment. And within one environment, which is production, you have one client called 200 another client called 300. See that? Okay.
Got it, sir. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay.
And just with the last one. The running this batch is not to be like which users privilege. Like,
Now you are running batch for the configuration changes, right?
yeah.
So who has done the configuration?
Distribution manager or the configuration consultant?
So, but configuration is will be done by the configurator or a designer. It's
Okay.
a consultant basically, not a manager.
Okay.
Okay, consultant. Configuration consultant has done that. So only one user, right?
Okay.
Everybody will not be given that responsibility. Everybody will not be having access. Only the configurator will have the access. If you are a tester, you will not be given access. If you are a trainer, you will not be given access. If you are a configurator, then only you are going to get that access. Otherwise, you will not. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
Very good. Okay, now what I would like to do is I'm going to log off from this system. Okay. Let me save this document as CTS. Okay. We'll save this as SAP capabilities. Okay. So let's open another screen. So I do not remember the start date. So somebody, maybe Lakshmi or Babita is not there. Maybe Lakshmi should give us that date. So what would be the last day of this training? I need to know. I don't remember the start date. So we'll accordingly we have to complete the syllabus. Okay. So that's one thing. You can, Lakshmi, you can email me later by checking the dates and when will be the last day of this training. That way I will schedule the topics and try to little bit. Okay. So far what we did in SPHR, do I have or did I log off? I think I log off. Let us log on again. 500 ext and the hx something hkHX. Okay, within human resources, we did personal management little bit, and organizational management little bit. Okay, so what I would like to ask you is, within OM, within organizational management and PM, personal management, what is that we covered? Let's say in organizational management, organizational staffing, okay, let's take this topic. For this topic, configuration, testing, BPP. Okay, so similarly in PM, okay, when I say configuration, configuration means not only just configuration and scripts, config, script. Okay, similarly in the when I say testing, testing includes user acceptance test, scripts development, and integration, test scripts. Okay, when I say BPP, BPP along with end user training document and work instructions. Okay, so that is my expectation. So take each of the sub module. Within each sub module, within each means I'm talking only OM and PM, and within OM, within organizational management, how much you did in regard to configuration. So did you do the testing too? Did you do the scripts? And did you complete the work instructions, business process procedures, cheat sheets, training documents, and all that. Okay, so this is what I would like to see, how I would like to see in an Excel spreadsheet. So let's say Anup, OM. Within OM, OM staffing. Within OM staffing, config, testing, P. Okay, then go to the next one, personal management. Within personal management, PM admin. So within PM admin, then comes each one of you can have one sheet exclusively, or if you want to keep everything in one sheet, then that will next will be Rahul. Okay, so I want to know where do we stand in regard to the topics that are covered. Okay, so Lakshmi is going to lead, and she's the one who is going to make this type of Excel spreadsheet with the information. Then that way I'll come to know how much each person is done. So I will get a baseline after seeing each and everybody's performance. Then I'm going to come to a conclusion. This is the baseline. So from that baseline, I'll quickly build another scenarios, then try to complete the coursework. Okay, so the next one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this as a status sheet, favorites, downloads, MG Trust, status. Okay, I'm going to email them in a minute. So once I have this, and one more thing I would like to tell you. So on CTS, and save yes. Favorites, downloads, Anna, MG Trust, save it. Okay. So I'm also going to give you maybe tomorrow a quiz on SAP landscape and SAP CTS process. Okay, so complete that quiz before you come to the next class. Okay, so you have 1 week time to work on these 3 things: status report and the quiz. Okay, so I have to take my leave because I had to get up 3 o'clock in the morning and get ready and catch a flight and go to this week. I'm going to Washington, DC. So I had to get some sleep. See you again next week. Meanwhile, please communicate with me with the email and also tell me the status. Okay? Any other questions before I leave? Oh, wonderful.
Nothing so far.
Bye now.